Was the Chancellor on target with his plans yesterday in the autumn statement? The economic future of Britain laid bare yesterday as Phillip Hammond revealed the financial impact Brexit will have on the country.
Official figures showed the government will have to borrow almost £60 billion more than planned, and the country will be just £122 billion worse off by 2020. The Chancellor joins us now from Gloucestershire. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So we were told by your predecessor that if we vote for the Tories in the last election to back austerity and all their cuts, then our country would be in surplus by the end of this government by 2020. We're now told that that's absolutely nonsense. There's going to be a black hole of £122 billion. How on earth have you got this so spectacularly wrong?
Well, these are the forecasts of the Independent Office for Budget Responsibility, but the circumstances have changed. Our economy faces a period of uncertainty as we negotiate our way through our exit from the European Union, and we've taken the judgment that with the economy predicted to slow down next year, it doesn't make sense to squeeze it harder to try to get to a surplus in the public finances by 2019-20. Better to delay that by a couple of years rather than squeeze the economy so hard that we started to cost jobs and cause other problems.
So Mr. Hammond, you're mentioning the fact,
protecting jobs.
Yeah, you're mentioning the fact that we're facing an uncertain future, but the reality is, for 6 years before we decided that we were going to leave the European Union, you were in charge. Your party was running the country in coalition initially and then on their own. And that means there's £60 billion that shouldn't be there. So the £60 billion that you're predicting that Brexit's going to cost, but what about the other £60 billion that goes towards making the £122 billion? Where's that come from? Because somebody has screwed up.
Well, first of all, let's just remember what happened over those 6 years. We got the deficit down by 2/3 from the peak of over 10% of our GDP at the end of Labour's crisis, and we created 2.7 million new jobs, which is why Britain's economy is feeling as vibrant as it is today. And you asked where did the rest of the money come from? Well, £23 billion of it is money that I deliberately yesterday decided to invest in new infrastructure, in R&D, in innovation in our economy, to try to raise our productivity game so that as we leave the European Union, our economy is match fit to take on the economies around the world that we'll be competing with. That was a deliberate decision, and I'll defend it all the way.
OK, Mr. Hammond, when you sit down to write this statement, do you feel utterly furious that you are effectively making a stab in the dark? We haven't left the EU yet. We don't know what deal the Prime Minister is going to negotiate when we come out. We don't know whether that's going to mean tariffs or no tariffs. We don't know how many people are going to be in the country because we don't know the effect there's going to be on immigration. We don't know what Donald Trump's going to do and the effect that that's going to have on the economy. Do you sit there with Brexit in mind, absolutely furious with the colleagues that you sit round the table with, who made this happen? Because you didn't want this to happen because you were worried about the effect it would have on the economy.
No, I think, welcome to the real world. The world is full of uncertainties. How fast will the Chinese economy grow? What will Mr. Trump do in America? What will our exit from the European Union actually look like? In the real world, whether you're running the government's finances or investing in a business, you have to take a look across all of these uncertainties, and you have to make judgments, and you also have to prepare for contingencies. So as I went into that statement yesterday, I've got an economy which is growing very strongly. We're going to be the fastest growing of the major advanced economies in the world this year. But I also have to have one eye on the warning from the Office of Budget Responsibility that the economy could slow down next year. And so what I've tried to do is take a precautionary basis, investing in Britain's productive capability, but also setting the fiscal rules in a way that gives me a little bit of something in reserve in case it does slow down next year. Then the government can come in to support the economy and make sure we maintain jobs and maintain prosperity.